Hello, everybody. I have like 3 things playing in the background. Okay. Grid 1 Motorsports. Our boy. Let's see let's stalk. Why has he never come up? There we go. It's my bad. Is it not on his? Unreasonable. Man. Oh, wow. That is loud as hell. Loud as hell. Why is this not charging this? Am I crazy? Itch. Oh. Damn it. Not today. Not today. Fudge. Okay, we're gonna have to try something else. Great. Hello. Hi. I am trying to, I need a new adapter again. I just got this one and I just always have issues with it. But if I do that, the camera goes away. Let's try a different board. Anyways, how's everybody's Friday? Okay, that didn't work. I hate it. I hate it here. With ears. Come in. I'm sorry. I have a Dalmatian literally on my feet right now. And she likes to lay right up on the cord outlets or whatever. And so sometimes if I move, she moves, and then the whole thing just comes undone. Bro, stop moving. I love you. It's like I'm gonna lay back. Hi, baby. Hi, boy. One day. These are the moments I wish I had a man. Oh, no, that didn't work. I'm done. I give up. No, we're gonna lose powder. Powder. Think. Oh, duh. Hold on. Bye. I hate it here. Never mind. It was probably better we didn't hear that. Got it. Just a second. I didn't know that those blocks can go bad. Apple? Oh. But speaking of really good equipment, I got one of those. Well, I was given one of these. A friend of mine got multiple and they were like, hey, do you want one? I was like, fuck yeah, I want one. And it's a water flosser. Have you guys ever used this? Shit's like legit. It's no joke. I was like, there's no way that using a water pick is that great. Like I had used one that we had just around the house that you plugged into a wall and it was okay. And then I broke it because I break everything that I touch. But this one, you fill up the water. Oh my God, I look like I have a lazy eye. You fill up the water in like the back of it. Just like there's like a flap, fill the water, turn it on. And that thing is no joke. Okay. It's psycho. Like my gums started bleeding. And like I'm obsessed with teeth. And I'm just like crazy. 20 out of 10. 20 out of 10. Highly recommend. Anyways, so I guess grid 1, Glenn, Princess, Ava, somebody named Arthrodia. Sorry. I have a speech impediment. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Imperious. When I only heard about this because I heard Princess mention it on stream because he was live. And then I went over to it and it looked like everybody was arguing about women's right to vote. Valid. Valid. And so I was watching it and then they got into a heated, I guess somebody gave out the link and Grid doesn't like that. I don't like that either, but he was like, who got the link? I don't know. I want to know who sent out the link. The mods are in trouble. And from that, I guess the Glenn saying, if women only vote, sorry, I'm going to say this so poorly. If women only vote for killing Schmishmortion, you know, what else was it? Forget what else he says. But essentially, women only vote for things that arguably men wouldn't vote for, I guess. And then it got on to the topic that I assume was leading into, you know, women aren't drafted. They have nothing on the line. Our birth rates are down. And I guess it sounded like Princess was pushing back a bit on Ava's behalf. Those were the vibes. Sorry, I like just being a girl. All right, leave me alone. And from then on, I haven't listened to it. So let's go over there, see what the fuss is about.
How many houses do you think they can build a year?
Oh, God.
Grid, you may know a little bit more about this than I do.
I'm not. I mean, it's a stupid thing to even talk about. I can't take it seriously. It's just dumb. Don't.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, the projection. How many did she say? 3 million. She wants to build by her.
You're missing the other side. Trump side is not going to do anything. So it's going to be worse off. So
yes, well, we need.
Hold on. Hold on.
This
is stupid. It's a stupid argument because we have 18,000 empty apartments in Nashville alone. We have literally, I think 20 developments, which is something like another almost 1,000 apartments that have stopped because nobody is able to or wants to move into them. We don't have a housing shortage. We have an income problem, and building houses is only going to make it worse. I mean, this is how stupid are people? I just don't understand this at all. It's like you guys don't live in reality. It's like you live in like some fantasy land where it's all of a sudden,
it's just numbers. Great.
We watched Andrew and some other people talk about the same thing.
Process. Hold on. You like numbers? I'll give you the straight numbers. Hold on. Let me give Process numbers since he likes numbers. He's a numbers guy. Process. The average house in the state of California is $650,000. The average house. Okay. No, that's impossibility. But yet they're building houses, right? That's what's being promised, and they are building some houses.
Grid just
now tell me, Process. How much do you have to make a year to be able to afford one of those houses without applying for a 15% APR loan? High risk.
Without applying for a 15% APR loan. Okay. So much to unpack. Hold on. Do you guys know that I had my fucking MLO training? I never took the test. It's equivalent to like a broker's test. Well, technically brokers didn't have to take a test. Now they do.
Honestly, I mean, what it's simple math, right? I mean, am I the only one who understands mortgages? I mean,
you have to put 20% down payment on a loan.
If you have to only put, well, you don't always have to. Look,
no, but that's a safe. I would never put less.
Well, I know what I do. I'm just saying that.
Okay, but we're talking to. I mean, clearly the conversation is not about what's the best way to buy? Like, if they're making houses for people that can't afford them, like they obviously. Like, the conversation is not going to be on what they can afford, right? Sorry, I can't help but laugh.
It is possible.
What are we doing?
I'm not going to say it's not possible.
Should I join in?
Somebody could walk in. Or, matter of fact, I know that banks are.
Grid, you're rich.
They're counting on people being able to walk in and buy a house with some subsidizing of some kind. And literally be able to put 3% down, but that wrecks the economy. That's exactly what got us in this spot in the first place. Is people bought houses that they shouldn't buy. Not everybody is meant to own a home. They just aren't. And robbing from Peter to pay Paul's bills never works. It just doesn't. It never has. It never will. It's just stupid.
And genuinely, like, I don't look down on people that have apartments. There's a lot of nice apartments. I don't even care. It's these people that live in this fantasy world.
Oh God. Who cares? Like, come on. I'm not saying a family should be homeless. it's kind of free.
People live in an Instagram world. They live in a world of Instagram and TikTok where people want to live in the most lavish things just to show off to people. That's all it is.
Well, I think there's
income problem. It is an income problem, and when you look at inflation taking off, it took off about a year after the Biden administration.
Can we skip it? This is boring. Sorry, can't focus. Can we talk about something else? It's like you're not even there.
Education is a failure. And then number two, I would say the stress of legalizing that many people and then putting them into the schools would destroy the infrastructure as well of the school districts. And so this is the thing. I know it seems like it's nice, Frances, to just make them citizens, but that would do nothing for changing the cost that they put in on the citizens of the country compared to what they create. Frances, if these are not you could disagree, but the numbers speak differently. Frances, the argument that you can't speak out both sides of your mouth.
Let me get this right. You have numbers that say that if you took
yes.
Let me answer the question. Make it clear. You have stats that show if you took all the illegal immigrants in America and convert them to citizens and give them education and like social welfare education, that they would be still a net negative to society. You have data to show that?
Yes, I can. Yes,
the problem is they all would be on welfare. Because
yes, you know how I would do that. 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 I would just. It's very easy. I would take the amount of a student. What is the? I would just take the amount of each.
I'm just like, first of all, it's going to be impossible to necessarily prove it, right? Obviously. You know, it's something that I noticed. I don't want to like poison the well. It's just like a data point in my brain. Because I'm for like strong borders, don't get me wrong, but like if people want to come here, that's what America is, right? So there's also that. It's like we're birth rates down. We got immigrants, you know, whatever. But something that I thought was interesting was that in the Netherlands, when I was over there around last year, around this time, kind of maybe a couple months before, is that it's almost impossible to get like citizenship there. And it didn't really I didn't really think much of it, but it would be impossible to like get a job. You'd have to do all the formal paperwork, whatever that is. But isn't it interesting how it's the richest country in the world? The economy is a lot better. Obviously, there's so many different factors. Culture should not be underestimated, right? Because we're like a melting pot. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it's interesting how, like, you can't just move there. I guess. I don't know. I guess that sounds dumb, but something I noticed.
In each of the school districts that we're going to put them in. Okay. And then I would account for the increase in cost of teachers, supplies.
Is housing supply. I didn't see one homeless person on the street. Not one. Not one. Everybody's on bikes. They're biking and shit. Goals. Like goals. I mean, like you tell them, hey, you're going to bike everywhere and they listen. In America, it's like, fuck that. Get our scooters. I'm just kidding. But I mean, like you really have to consider it's not just like, oh, it's predominantly Nordic, whatever. It's not just that. The culture is so different. I don't think servers get tipped, which is common in Europe to not be tipped, but people like go out to these restaurants during the day, spend their day there. Like weekends are not for working. There's no hustle culture, no advertisements on the billboards, none of that shit. It's like a lot slowed down, very different. But again, both are good in their own ways, but it's just, you know, to be so focused on a hustle culture and yet everybody is on the street. Not necessarily. I wonder if the Las Vegas homeless community homeless population is down or up, because it was impossible to get housing there. And I went there with like 20K. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't just become homeless. In order to get a job, you needed a Nevada address. But in order to get a Nevada address, you needed a Nevada job. That's just one of the catch-22s. You couldn't just go up to a manager and give your application all online, no matter where you fucking go. And for every job posting within the hour, you have like 75,000 applicants from all over. That's why I'm sure they put down the address component. I'm sure there's loopholes through the ABS system or whatever you call it. But even if you were to go to a budget stay, they are booked up until like the end of the year. You could get an Airbnb, but it's Vegas. So you have FEMA, different conventions almost every weekend. And so the hotels around there will, even like motels will go up in price Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every week. It doesn't matter if you got it. It doesn't matter. It's like surge 600%. Like, I think, it's been so long. Like a Motel 8, the one with the 8, that would be like 50 to 75 a day, Monday through Wednesday. And then it would go up to like $300 a day. So just imagine, let's say for a month, you want to stay at like a Motel 6, 8, whatever it is, Super 8. 50, 50, 50, 150 for the first half of the week. And then what, 300, 400, 400, 800, 9, 10, 11 plus 150. That's about 12, the 1,300 a week. A week. Then you have your, where else did I stay? Extended stay, which is more like a junior suite. So they have like a kitchen inside of them. It's like minimum 1,300 a week. And you can't really like, I mean, if you want to pay in full, that's your prerogative. Maybe I should have done that, but I would do it bi-weekly or whatever. You could get an Airbnb, but again, they will only have it available. Like it's impossible to not be homeless, I guess. Obviously there's you could buy cheap housing out there, which is great. You're definitely going to need 2 years of the same work experience to even be considered on an application for that. They did have lease to own programs, but like in Chicago, those are scams. So are they applicable out there? Maybe you could like balloon or whatever it was called, take over. I don't know. I don't know what it's just that like being homeless was like not a big deal. It's 24 hours everywhere, gyms and shit. So luckily I was able to shower and have my dogs in air conditioning because I'm just a pleasant peach to be around. But yeah, it's difficult. So then imagine, I mean, when I would be in like a parked lot, even if I was going to get groceries, there's so much panhandling, so much, like to the point where it was almost like watching, like, it sounds so bad, but I was there too, bitch. Okay. It was like, what was that zombie show? Fuck. Not Call of Duty. Call of Dead? What the hell was it called? Walking Dead. It was like being in the middle where you just see a bunch of zombies like limping. That was us. You know what I mean? All everywhere. You had to keep your windows rolled up. It was like crazy. But anyways, I wonder if it went down or if it went up. It's impossible to get housing out there just because of the paperwork alone. So something to consider on a larger scale.
Increase of schools that you would have to build. And then you would have to tell me, and that's just the beginning process. That's not in addition to healthcare. That's not in addition to ESL.
Are you adding how much money they're going to make based on the business they create when they're an adult?
Yes,
Okay,
I would. Yes, because process.
Let's skip.
Nobody seems to understand why the housing market did what it did, and it was I literally predicted it almost to the month as to what was going to happen. My realtor is still like he's like, I can't believe you did that. And I'm like, no, it's as plain as the, plain as the screen in front of me. So I'm very interested. I'm not critiquing you. Glenn, they can all, I'm not critiquing you. I don't really care one way or the other. It's your vote. It's your life. You do you, pal. I'm just trying to understand your point of view. That's all.
Yeah. And I won't go off too long, but I think the big thing is, I guess I do think the policies will have some effect. Maybe not as much as you imagine. It sounds like sometimes you think it might be detrimental. I definitely disagree there. I would say the big thing is, like, I don't know, and maybe you guys can educate me. Like, I don't know what Trump's policies to address any of these issues would be.
I can give you.
Bring that. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let me give you some history and some reality, and not what people say, but what happened. Okay, so when Trump took office, there was a policy, and red pill guys love this policy, and Trump ended it. And that is that if you wanted to own an investment property, typically you have to use what's called a commercial mortgage.
Commercial mortgage. His mic went out on my end. What is it? Hard to hear him?
Higher.
I'm checking chat.
You don't get as much money. You have to put more skin in the game to get the loan. And in general, your rates are higher. Not always, but if I want to go buy a trailer park, or if
just so you know, Grid, your audio is going in and out a little bit.
Well, it could be. I'll move it closer.
Now it sounds good.
There you go. I think you're just farther away, Grid. You're just a little far away.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're good now.
So when you could not buy a rental house that you weren't going to live in under Trump reformed the bank lending. He put in safeguards, and that's part of what caused the economy to grow. Now, there was a lot that caused the economy to grow, but that was one of the big things. And it prevented people from going out and having 10 mortgages in their name. You following along?
Yeah, so far.
Okay. And so what that did is now you had to go have an actual business. You had to have actual money. The standards are higher. The banks check more, and that's it. So also the banks there was a limit on, they had to have X amount down. You couldn't do a 3% loan anymore. There's a bunch of things. Okay. That lowered the interest rate, increased profit, and it increased the economy. The economy boomed. And that's just one element. I'm picking on this element because it's a very clear reason. Okay. Biden, day one, walks into the Oval Office, erases that. The next day, my banker calls me and says, hey, remember how we couldn't make you this loan that you wanted for these investment properties? We can do that now. By the way, you don't need 20%. We can do it at 7% down. Okay. Also, they were going to give me really favorable interest rates. I don't remember what they are. I think it was maybe
what could go wrong? What could go wrong? Oh man, I love this shit.
Which in a commercial, for an investment property, that's really cheap, or it was. Now it's not. Now it'd be super cheap. But I digress. It only got worse from there. And so what happened is I actually went and looked at a lake house to buy, and I'm talking to the banker and I was talking to the banker and the realtor who were there together, which they're not supposed to do that, but they did.
Unless it's a direct lender, which actually it could be. The reason it's not, it'd be one thing. Okay, it'd be one thing if me as like an MLO or a broker was also showing the home and was also the realtor, because then arguably I would get it's been a minute, 11% on the loan, and then also 4% on the actual home once it sells. We keep it separate. They can converse. Like when I was going to do it, a lot of my girlfriends, I worked in a nightclub, they always turn into real estate agents. So I was like, oh, for sure. Like they'll be able to work with me, but they can't. There's like certain things you can't do, obviously. But yeah, supposedly, I can't remember if somebody was doing both and if it was legal in certain situations, like for instance, a direct lender, but I don't remember. I don't think so. And I remember thinking, yeah, I would want to do the back of the house, like MLO broker. You come to me to get a loan, and if you can't get approved, out of sight, out of mind. The idea of working with somebody to show them a home, and they're not even approved yet, is kind of a waste of time. People are flaky. They don't have the right stuff. You don't technically, I mean, like tip workers, you have to show at least employment for 2 years. And even then, like, even if you were to fill out a form that you were putting your cash tips on, it's really not valid. So it's a kind of a loop, or kind of some barriers, but reasonably, I don't think that they're the worst thing in the world. Anyways, that's what I remember, but I'm curious what he's
conflict of interest
talking about.
The banker literally looks at me and says, we don't even need to look at your income for you to buy this property. We will only look at the appraised rental value.
Okay. What?
So if their appraiser comes out and says, yeah, this house will rent for $2,500 or $3,000 a month, I can have a mortgage up to that.
Dude,
you understand how crazy that is?
That's insane. I just told you guys. Oh my God. Like, what the fuck? Even when I was bartending. Wow. Crazy. That's kind of scary. I haven't done, like, I did the pre-licensing, I forget how many, 20, 40 hours during COVID. Maybe a little bit.
They don't know that I have the money to pay for that house. And that's what caused that's what's caused a lot of our housing issues. Now, you can point to BlackRock buying up a lot of rental property, and a lot of people do, but in truth, they own less than 1%. I thought they owned like 1 trillion. Wait, what?
I'll take his word for it. I don't think I'm not saying that I know. I always thought that they owned like fucking like in the trillions of something.
Well, housing. So where did all the rest go? Well, they all went to people like me. I own several properties. They all went to people like Grant Cardone, who owns a lot of properties. And we were able to do that, or a lot of people were able to do that because the safeguards were pulled off in banking. Because banks make money either way. They make money if you pay off the loan. They make money if you don't pay off the loan. And the more loans they make, the more money they make. So Trump put in safeguards and it helped the economy. Biden removed the safeguards and our economy, short term, it did, in fact, the housing prices skyrocketed. Do you remember, like over 6 months, it went from like people were paying $40,000 over ask. I don't know. I don't know what area.
Yeah, I think I was just talking to him about that. Or I forget who I was talking to. It was like 30% over here, which is a lot. Like, that's insane. Over asking? Fuck that. And you had people lined up. It was like you couldn't compete even if you were going that 30% over. I mean, it was insane. People, I don't know.
Year in, but in here,
at least over here,
we used. I've never bought a house for more than, I offered 10,000. My first bid usually be 10 or 15,000 under ask. Right, that would be the first thing I'd do. I mean, sometimes more than that.
I'll admit I don't know like the housing issue in particular. I'm
just using this as an illustration of the economy, right?
No, but I wanted to bring that point because what do you not say? And I could be wrong here. Do you think usually it's the Democrats that are usually more for the regulations on banking and industries in general compared to the right?
I think they talk about it. I don't think they do it. I think historically they don't do it. I think that historically, conservatives, I'm not going to say Republicans, I'm going to say conservatives typically want meaningful controls in place. They don't want superfluous stuff. They don't want any fluff, and they don't want anything that gets in the way of actually doing business, but they want meaningful safeguards. And look, all the red pill guys who do the 4R thing, buy, it's the BRRR method: buy, renovate, refinance, and rent.
I don't know.
That's how they generate money, and it's a really bad thing. And so I just don't feel like that. I don't feel like that enough people really actually understand. Well, a lot of people run around talking about the economy like they have an idea, and they don't. And even a simple conversation like this, you're like, well, I didn't know that. Well, honestly, not many people do, and not many people would unless you're involved in it, right? Although it was in the papers, it was in the press, it just doesn't get any press, and it's not sexy. It's not nearly as sexy as saying we're going to relocate 2,000 refugees, right? Like, that's sexy. That's a great article, but that doesn't affect my wallet nearly as much as allowing people to take out a mortgage for 3% down on $300,000 or $400,000 homes that they can't pay for.
So much.
I mean, I was probably not around or knowledgeable when it was happening, but
sure,
I would say it's probably not a good thing that should be happening. Yeah, that's probably not something we encourage. We want to encourage people that ideally own one nice house.
I'm sorry, Francis. I apologize. That was really rude.
No, John Galt, hit the link.
John Galt, no link. I'm full up right now, and I'm actually about to go to bed. I normally end the program at 11. It's Glenn's
if John
fault.
comes up here, I won't be very nice, Grid. That's okay.
Can I say one more thing? I forget.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Look,
as parting words.
I'm fascinated to hear your side.
Yeah, and we can definitely investigate my side more. But I'm just curious because I do some live research. I do a lot of research.
Sure.
Because I get a lot of misinformation. But it's so interesting how you brought up the deficit, and it's probably the thing like you want to hang your head on. But I noticed that, and again, these are some interesting years, but the deficit got a lot bigger, and there's a lot more spending under the Trump compared to the Biden years.
Trump did spend a lot.
Pretty big margin. Yeah.
I think you have to look at.
Yeah, but wait, COVID. Wait, what?
You also got to factor in that was the beginning of COVID.
I did mention that at a weird time.
Yeah. So
Biden had that also.
Look, I freely admit Trump spent a lot of money, but he also he increased. The reason he could spend that much money is because the economy was rising to meet it. Right. And he was, of course, he thought he was going to be in 8 years and be able to make there all kinds of reasons.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right?
But I kind of focus on a few key indicators. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, and I know a lot that I can't talk about because of my wife's position, his conflict of interest. Whatever.
Based. Thoughtful.
And I really only like to talk about real estate because there's no possible way I could have a conflict of interest there. I can't talk about stocks. I can't talk about the market. I can't talk about businesses buying businesses.
Hey, Grid, you probably shouldn't talk about what you can't talk about.
Yeah. I don't
Sure.
like
it's always, like I said, Grid, I heard, and I always live my life by it. I heard from law school, I heard from a pretty high up, circuit court judge. He said, you never ask a question you don't know the answer to.
Sure. And well, I really don't understand a lot of the left-leaning people's support for Kamala Harris at all. She's never done anything. She's never accomplished anything. The only thing that she's actually accomplished is very questionable. And I just don't understand the support at all. Beyond, I'm a Democrat and I want to vote for a woman. And hey, sometimes it's as simple as that. I'm not throwing rocks here. I'm not trying to.
Sometimes it's a spite vote against Trump too. Some people are just like, I will vote anyone but Trump.
I was gonna say that. It was like the shit around Trump is like, oof.
Yeah, there are some people. No doubt, there are some people.
But Frances, if you're looking at trends throughout history and throughout American presidential history, voting against somebody voting,
I'm shutting down. It's 1:24, which is way past my time to quit.
But Grid, no,
shut up. We'll go like another 6 minutes. If everybody can just do their final thoughts and Imperius, do not start another speech.
All right. Grid.
One
I
more
just
rant,
want to
man.
hug, but all right, Grid. All right. Yeah. Final thoughts. I'm just, number one, chat. John Grawl. I'll say hi to you. When you man up and you don't mute people and ban people. All right. First of all, that's just the beginning. But anyways,
I think everybody bans you, Imperious.
No. That's fine.
Why? What'd he do?
But there's certain issues that he has certain individuals on his show that, anyways, let's just move on. Like you said, no speech.
Moving on.
You said no speeches, so I'll adhere to that.
Wrap it up.
Grid, the problem with left-leaning individuals, all liberals in general, is that everything is a utopian vision type scenario. But the point is they're pointing to a utopia with no foundation to it. They say, oh, it's good for equality. Why is equality good? Does it work? Is it possible? These are not questions that they ask. Why is equal pay good? They don't ask the questions. Why is it there? Why is it good? And it's simple questions, John. Simple questions, Grid. That you just it's very simple to just ask why. Why is it good? Why should it be this way? And it's just it's their own value system that they've created, which they prescript is good because it's good for them. It's good. And in the end, it's just what they want. They want a habitat suitable for themselves. There doesn't need to be reason behind it. They want to feel that the area around them is what they want it to be like. That's all it is. So I'll end it with that.
All right.
Have a good night, panel. Thank you once again.
I guess it's
See you,
over.
Imperious.
And Princess, I do give you props for coming on, and you're the only progressive guy on the panel and engaging with us in good faith, and you do seem genuinely interested in learning and debating and understanding the issues. I think that's fantastic.
I've been on a
And sure, Arthur
I've been on
said
panel with
Francis got
Princess
some
before.
big
He's a good dude.
nuts. That's what she said.
Yeah. Arthur Dye, while you're there, I don't know that this got read. Could you please read this?
From Anson Knowles. Vote for Kamala in November. Show the future queen that you support her. It's not like they'll let the orange man win anyway. Hashtag Kamala is a
He's had too much moonshine tonight.
I don't know, Anson. We're trying to slowly reform him.
Alabama.
He just simps for all the women. It's
okay. That's enough. That's enough. What's popping per usual? I feel like I'm losing my eyesight. I can't see. Oh. What are 3 branches of government in their job? Really? Judicial, executive, legislative. Duh. I'm so annoyed of my own voice. The next level beyond influencer communities are movements. Always good to see what the narratives are. There was this rumbling outside. It sounded like airstrikes or some shit. It wasn't, but it sounded like it. So I thought I just heard it again. Are they doing anything? I live in Rockford, Illinois. I have a new Twitter, but I haven't been checking it. I tried running a Google search, but it was like a rumbling. It was so weird. Not like an earthquake. Like loci, one of my dogs is deaf. So, but she was kind of perked up when she heard it. It sounded so weird. Almost like the grand finale of fireworks. So weird. Anybody know what's going on? The justification that was used to Congress for NAFTA and USMCA is the definition of moon math. What are y'all talking? Wait, what? These dudes. Hi, Edward. These dudes were triggered early. Hysterical stream. Wait, which ones? Love you. Is she a bot? No. Just annoying. Wait, sorry, Keith. I just jumped into the stream. Sorry about that, but that's the only thing I'm seeing. Bye bye. Okay, it's all good. They do flight exercises for F-35s right now all over southern Wisconsin. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was like one of the secret gems in this city. I don't like it, but there's one good thing, and it's the Rockford Airport. So literally amazing. It's like a mom and pop airport. You can pull up and like have your car just in park and like help people inside. Nobody's honking at you. It's so wide open and beautiful. Anyways, when I was on the highway, there were like flighter. What's it called when they're like the smaller? Maybe that's the F-35s. They look like junior jets. That's what they look like. And they were like going upside down and shit right over the highway. Can you imagine? I witnessed it. It was wild. There's a lot of cornfields, about 40 miles, I think. Something like that. Okay. I'm down. No. I'll have to go someday. Big fan of airports. I'm telling y'all, it's amazing. It's amazing. Everybody's so nice. They love their job. It's Allegiant. I think it's just... They have a big Allegiant stadium now in Vegas. I haven't been there, but... What are you saying? This woman, read this chat. I'm trying. I'm not a keyboard. Anyways. Where's my music? It's kind of quiet. That means that my mic's gotta be like really messed up. What's new? Yo. Oh, it's actually real. Anyways, what time is it? 1:35 a.m. Can you take them out, please? What are you talking about? Don't freak me out, okay? I have a lot of content coming up. It's 2 a.m. here, bro. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're gonna go over morality and all the basic stuff. I have a lazy eye right now. Real talk. We're gonna do the whole basics. That's what I pre-recorded, but figured we could do live streams on them and complain and critique. No, I'm just kidding. But I read some books during my time in jail. I was pretty productive, I'm not gonna lie. If I don't say so myself, okay? Why is your nose red? I literally, right before I got on here, I was rinsing it's horrible. We have like literally, I don't know if it's because this house isn't brick like my house I grew up in, and it doesn't have like a solid foundation. That sounds so weird, but I don't know how else to explain. I swear, like the ceiling dust, it never ends. So, but I like doing the sinus, the nail thing. It's so awesome, but I've been out of the packet, so I had to make my own with baking soda and salt. That was iodized, and you're not supposed to use iodized salt, so that's probably why. Probably this light isn't helping. You know? Anyway. YouTube jail. Yeah, I was in jail. I read. I worked out. Just take bath salts. I'm not going to waste that. I feel like that would burn, honestly. If you ever want to do it, you have to bring your water to a boil. Then once it gets to the boil, shut it off. Let it sit, cool down. Then you mix in about, I forget if it was 1/8, 1/8, 1/4, like 16 pinches, I don't know, of baking soda, the salt, and then bada bing, bada boom. But it burned, so it was not good. It's not, the stuff that gets mixed in is supposed to make it so it doesn't burn when it goes in. That's what she said. Anyway, I have a list of debates that I would like to have on the channel at some point. I'm going to be doing more just call-ins where you guys can just call in. All I ask is your normal, which I'm just asking a lot. I'm kidding. I only have a bandwidth of like this. But I figure it's always fine when I do it. It's just that like if I don't do it for a while, I'm just like, I feel like, I don't know. I'm not social. I want to do a show with Rollo, Sartain. What else? Sorry, I've been like not focused today. Not very profesh. But are we ever? I don't know. What kind of name is Torshaa? Mind your fucking business. Melanie, yes, you can call in. When I say fucking weird, I mean like people that like show stuff. So I'll be doing it by myself and I don't know how to put that thing in. No trolling, obvi. What? Yeah, right. Funny. I was thinking about just switching it back. Not switching it back. I was thinking about just changing it to my full name because we all know it anyway. I feel like it's a little bit childish, but that was like the vibes a couple of years ago, right? Are you like, ew, don't ever call me one, but like secretly, yeah. Do men have to pet? Oh my god. Really, I feel like I have a lazy eye. Sponsor a bad bitch for Botox. Did you hear about somebody who got 6 BBLs? At what point? At what point were you like, maybe I'm just not made for it? Like, no pun intended. Like 6, bitch? To me, that's like a very dangerous surgery, you know? I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I've heard crazy things. I get it. Live your best life, you know, if it makes you happy. But like let's do implants or something at that point, you know, like unless it was 6 because they just kept losing weight. I don't know. I don't know how I don't know. Just get implants. I guess ass implants kind of look bad, but with all the religious Christians in the chat, you should set a show for them to call in and preach about God. Why not? I love my yes. Hello, nice to see you again. I did see your email. I have to get back to it. I believe you asked me. Yeah, something. I saw it. I was in an email. I can't really say, but I was distracted. We'll just say that. But I did see it. I can't remember if I opened it though or not. Did you put attachments on it? Should we check? I want you to send me the thing about the hand, you know? Oh my God, it's like crazy right now. Why is your nose reddish? You know when someone has a... What? Oh my God. Y'all are insane. Oh. Okay. She had a couple drinks. No, but I fucking need them. You guys know when I'm drinking. I make it very known. But yeah. So I need more. So I really like how Alex O'Connor does like philosophical hot takes. He's been doing those for some time. I was like, oh, I wish we had something like that because that's kind of good. It has to feel right, you know? It's literally my biggest pet peeve, but I love leaning into it. Fuck them up. You got dolled up and didn't go out. I strep myself. That sounds weird. I strep my shit at the grocery store. How do you walk in heels? Hold on. You should be walking in heels like as if you were pushing a grocery cart. The ones that get it, they get it. I remember I was like, how do you know if you're walking in heels, right? You have to imagine that you're doing it like that. That's how you know. Follow me for more tips. Okay, everybody's like trolling. Philosophy and reality don't go hand in hand for sure. So interesting. I was just watching Peter Hitchens on Alex O'Connor's show. I saw it when it first came out, but that's like a perfect example of that. Perfect example. Some people are more philosophical, and I would say on these YouTube debates, that's what it seems to come off as, but more, like I said, feelings aren't bad. It's just that I forget to do it. So, but I guess, I don't know. They can go hand in hand. It's definitely... Are they adversarial? Sometimes. Sometimes. I was thinking about doing a whole thing on like different philosophers or something. Because if I put out content that helps me with my work, then it's like, ooh yeah, baby. Are you taller than your man? I'm single and dying alone. Like, sir, this is Wendy's. Nothing wrong with churches. Nothing's really pulling me though. I need to be pulled in a direction. It's like here and there. I want to do something with home math. He made a video recently. I don't know if it was in reference. It didn't sound like it was, but then somebody sent it to me like, is he talking about you? And I was like, I don't think so. But I did tag him in that one video. I would like to do... I guess he was going to some convention in Texas, actually this weekend. The naturalistic law theory. I think is what it was called. I looked it up. Like, where in Texas is this? God dang. But I guess it's like, I forget what he said. They do debates there. Just people that are looking to change the world. I don't know. What's Homath doing there? I don't know. Go to run. You're winning at life. You're winning. No, I wouldn't say that. That's not what happened. It was copyright. Totally valid. No conspiracy around it. Trust me, you guys will know. You'll know. If you can believe that nonsense, you could believe anything. It did have an interesting, well, I thought it was interesting. I don't know. What's interesting to you guys? Because it used to be like I could kind of see what everybody was watching, but it's been so different. And nothing that I really care about. And to get me to do it, I have to care about it. It's like a blessing and a curse. Oh, wait, that's kind of cool. I have tryouts for Real Madrid Academy, best youth soccer football team. That's kind of cool. I bartended an event where I can't remember. What we used to do? It was like me, Paige, Asha. Oh. I think it was more like they were betting on teams. I don't remember. Where did everything come from? There's that too. I don't really like the I mean, I get it. I probably say a lot of stuff that's like super existential and shit. Something can't come from nothing. You're not wrong. Ah, what happened? Where'd you go? Something. Definitely. And I understand the purpose for it. It's actually interesting, but like I feel like it's going to make me go insane. But it's good to do videos on that because then you get better at discussing it and whatnot. But Bella Thorne, yeah, I get that all the time. So I'm really tired. Yeah, I am. But probably because I'm not talking about anything and I don't have music playing. It was playing. Anywho. What else? I don't know. I want to set something up where it's like we can debate about whatever, or like if you have something that you want to bring to me or whatever. Because it's like the idea of doing all these different contentious topics back to back to back. It's not that you can't. It's that there's no solid foundation. I find it exhausting. So some way to like set it up. That's the perks of doing it. See, there's perks to doing like a call-in show because then I get to talk to you guys. And that's like fun, right? But then there's a lot of I don't know if I guess it would be feelings, but it's almost like people just want to play this like pushback thing, which is fine, except that like I want to hear just on a topic, just like 3 arguments, you know. I don't like to winging it. It's not, I don't think it's productive. It can be. It's just it's so random. I don't know. But then you do it with content creators, and I would think that there would be more structure, but I don't really know. Like most of the YouTube content creators in this space, I'm not too familiar with. Shockingly. I watch a lot of content. So if you guys have people that you like, I'd like to hear them. I just started watching, I guess the one that I've been watching that's relatively new, 2 of them actually. Rob Noir. Interesting takes. And then another one was Matt Dillahunty. I get Matt's definitely got, does he do structure? He comes from a professional background. Though you can tell. I actually haven't gone that far back though. I was just like reviewing more some of the recent, what was it? I can't remember the title of it. Something about, I can't remember if it was something about God or atheism, but like either or. Actually, I could look it up. Oh, the root of all evil. Really? I want to watch that. Saving that for later. But it was debating, is Jesus God? That was the one. I was like, God damn it. I really feel you're one of the creators that didn't sold out with clickbait and shit. Really? I mean, I guess. Lower your expectations. I feel like clickbait puts you better fucking deliver, baby. That's a lot of pressure. But thanks. I'm interested in, I did not like the, what was it? I think we reacted to it. We probably did, but the one with Matt Dillahunty and Jordan Peterson. I've been having, I guess, I've been falling more into Jordan Peterson's content. Have you guys heard about his new academy? Wow. I didn't realize that they're like trying to compete with colleges, not accredited yet. That's crazy. Like, damn, good for him. But I'm like, I keep getting sent these videos about Sam Harris, about Matt Dillahunty. And Matt Dillahunty was one that I wasn't too familiar with. I actually enjoy what I was watching so far, but this one conversation with Jordan Peterson, I'm like, why is it that atheists, my peeps, aren't grasping Jordan Peterson? Like I've been just hearing things like, not necessarily talking shit, but kinda. And it's like, who started, like, I guess, as like I've always said, Jordan Peterson's really profound and specific with his language goals, right? And it seems like people think that a lot of people think he's regurgitating like word salad. And it concerns me that people think that way. It concerns me when I see that in the majority, not because I know I'm right, but because I literally was like studying this man. I would get a lot of requests about structuring things in similar fashion as him, because it is artistic. And so usually when I see people jump on this bandwagon, like, oh, it's just word salad, it usually comes from somewhere. I can think of 2 other instances, but I'm not going to say because I don't want to name drop specific people, but it's concerning. Always be skeptical. It will disrupt your moral ethos. Wait, fuck. What is it? I love it. It's like everybody keeps making fun of it, but it's probably the best way to put that specific thing. It's the same thing that I've been trying to discuss, but I couldn't think of what it would be. If you know, you know. It would disrupt your, what is it? Something with an S. Moral landscape ethos. I don't know. But he's very specific, not just because he's a teacher, but let's not forget, in like 2016. And so then, like, I see people making fun of him now, and it's like, y'all are insane. Like, one of the things that I found crazy, is that the way that Jordan Peterson will question specifically in a very debate structure, which made me question if Matt Dillahunty was a professional debater, because that sort of line of questioning is standard often. It's one of the things where I was like, God bless somebody be doing it, it triggers me, like, because I'm used to it from doing it formally. But I guess from other people that maybe don't do things like that formally, or they think they see it as obfuscating. And I was like, really? I feel like Jordan Peterson can always bring it back. It was something I admired about him, especially after the accident I had. I found that I would lose my train of thought. And so he thinks very abstractly. He goes around and around people, but he always comes back, and he's always thoughtful about it. So I just find it wild that the way it translates to others. Like, okay. But then you also see other videos where they like that stuff, and you're just like, okay, like, is this a rumor then? Like, why did you change your opinion? It's just crazy to me. And I get it. It's because atheists in general have issues with Jordan Peterson, because a lot of people think that Jordan Peterson is religious. He's an atheist. But I actually, like, people, I don't know why they would see it as hypocritical. I think he offers a great perspective, like, just simple as that. Atheists can sometimes be cold, and I think that, like, Jordan Peterson exudes fucking conscientiousness, neuroticism, and neuroticism gets a bad rep because people assume that you're like neurotic, crazy in a bad way, but it just means that you feel more negative emotions. But it really, like, you can really see how Jordan Peterson, compared to like most atheists, has like an edge. And because he is more artistic, and he does reads the more abstract. He like is into art. I mean, like, everybody can be, but there's just like, so I think he offers like a different approach to it, and he can steel man, if you will, religion. And I guess some people find that grifty. I don't. It's been like that the whole time, If anything, he has more reason to be a cold atheist, and guess what? He ain't. Like, I don't know. I think it's different. He probably is. I love that, though. I love that. I have not read. I don't think I've read one Jordan Peterson book. We're gonna do that now. Did he have the recent? I heard that he was writing a book on religion. He probably did. That was probably a while ago. Hold on. I don't think that's crazy. Now that you, what? Like, I read a lot. I remember early on my YouTube, I had purchased the program that he had. And then I also purchased it for a subscriber. I remember that. I emailed them. I wonder if they ever did it. I've like seen his writing. I remember he wrote the obituary for Tammy's father. It was really good. Really good. People make fun of him because he can be a bit of a diva when his arguments get opposed. See, I don't see that. Maybe I'm insane. We'll have to review them, because I think sometimes tone, I've noticed this a lot, that tone has a tendency to make somebody appear more argumentative. And it's like, are they clarifying though? I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of an art to be like polite and do it. Was he not polite? Can you show me a video specifically? Give me a name. Let's do it. He says in his books that he's religious. He's not. Unless maybe. There's like a complicated, this is why I need to brush up on religion, especially like the New Testament, the Old Testament, and between which religions believe what. Obviously, it's like, yeah, you don't have to say it twice, bitch, but like, it seems as though Jordan's talking in abstract. Not saying that he believes in it, but we should still consider it. You know what I mean? Which I think is a really, unless I'm reading too much into it, it's definitely like, I don't know if you would technically label wise be more, maybe not. It's just that there's like a reason. Right? You shouldn't just discount religion because, you know, sometimes atheists will do things that way, but maybe that is the way you're technically supposed to do it. I don't believe so. I think, like, at least in my opinion, grounded atheists acknowledge the use of both. They don't necessarily believe in a sky daddy and whatever, but there's a reason that it's been so pervasive for so long. Got big somewhere. Like, what's the purpose of it? It doesn't just come out of nowhere, which means that I think Jordan Peterson can acknowledge a reality that maybe he doesn't exist in, or he doesn't necessarily recognize, but he can acknowledge that people have subjective experiences, which I think sometimes atheists disregard. So maybe, I mean, that's crazy. I didn't know he said that though in his books. I'll definitely read them. I hate when I don't know some shit. I'm not gonna lie. No way. Oh no. Mark, so without trying to be inflammatory, are you in agreement with being Yeah, we know Jordan Peterson is. I'm not totally sure on how laws work in Canada. As a content creator, sometimes I'm like, why wouldn't you want it there? Like, I can see the argument on both sides. Because there's violence. You want a like on YouTube, for instance, we were just talking about this. I feel like it's like, in order to make it safe for other people that maybe are the lesser majority, you have to have them recognized in like legislation in order to get that protected class status. And I'm not saying it correctly because it's not my area of expertise. So I see the argument for it, but I'm curious why he is against that. I remember Bill whatever, and I remember when you end up putting, what do you used to say, when you demand people have a specific speech, I feel like he takes it very literally. So there's got to be a better way to address the violence act, the violent component, protected class component, without necessarily. But baby, he knows something more than we know. I don't know. Has anybody asked him about it recently? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know. That's something I would have to get more information on for sure. Did you guys see the episode with the neuroscientist on Michaela Peterson's show? I encourage you guys to go watch it. It was fascinating. I really enjoyed it. Guy was really knowledgeable, a little awkward. I love that. My like ADD brain is just like, okay, they're awkward. Let's do it. Encourage y'all to go watch that. I don't know. So I think Jordan Peterson is one of the ones that was viewed as a villain, but really was a hero all along. But I don't know his thought process on it. I'd be curious to know. I would need to know. Like, to me, I don't think it had to do with like anybody except for the fact that they wanted to make you say something like that. Yeah, like coming off like he was taking it literally. But then it's like he talks in such an abstract way, really acknowledging the side. I'm saying side, but it could be in any argument with anybody. He really argues like the underdog in the situation in a way that acknowledges that he's like not aware of their subjective experience or whatever. And it's a more comprehensive look at some of the things that I think we miss right now. I think atheists have a tendency to do this poorly. It's one of the reasons I actually really enjoy like a Christian and atheist debating other shit, like not the typical shit, like God and whatever. Like, yeah, we get it. I find them to be boring, but I love when they debate just like something completely random, but you really get a take on their moral philosophy, and as long as they're truthful, right? I don't know. I've been watching more of them on YouTube. Yeah. Didn't I answer that? Sorry. Hold on. I thought you did well, Princess. I saw your comment. Compelled speech. Thank you. I am related this argument to a general critique of political correctness and identity politics. Sometimes I wonder, like, yeah, it's that compelled component. I don't know. Usually the most contentious issues both have really compelling arguments, despite what you might believe. I find that the most tricky ones to talk about, especially on YouTube right now. I was just in jail for copyright. Okay, easy. Most of the time, things are a lot closer than people think. Should always be operating in gray when you can. Black and white thinking is not good, and we all fall susceptible to it more often than not. Catastrophizing. Is that how you say that one? Catastrophe. Catastrophizing. Always jumping to a conclusion that's really like the worst or of the worst extremes. It's all toxic, and I don't know if it would be emotionally immature, but it would definitely be unhealthy thought patterns. So I'm not knowledgeable to speak on it, but I have been doing it though. The research, okay? I am doing it. So we have that going for me. Thank you so much. To be fair, Western culture is far from religious standards. I just like... I don't like the idea that anything that isn't religious gets deemed degenerate. That's like the one thing that kind of bothers me. Like, I know we're kind of quirky and weird. I get it. But easy, okay? Easy, guys. I literally am. I worked in a nightclub. Done. No, like, I think people who become atheists, in my experience, which is like, people don't become atheists for the reasons that most people think they do. Most people will fall down like an atheist arc in their life, but people who are like self-proclaimed atheists, it's not like an easy thing to do, right? It's not the easy thing to do. And so I find that atheists, usually the ones that I watch at least, not so much the quick YouTube blood sports bait. I'm talking like written books and shit. It's like they're pretty generous to the idea of religion and God. Maybe not Sam Harris. Maybe now more so, but yeah, the content changes, but it's like they seem to be more generous to the idea. They might not come off that way. I don't know. Like, people don't just become atheists because it's like the cool thing. It's not cool. It's not. More people are religious. There's always like a fatalism, nihilism thing, especially as a determinist, that you kind of get labeled with, and it's like a not trying to promote it. But usually people that are atheists want to fix suffering, typically, like when it really comes down to it. On some level, it comes down to limiting suffering in some regard. I don't know any atheist that, yeah, no, it's all, I think it would all come down to suffering less. And not in some way your pros and your cons or the plus and minuses, utilitarian, not in that type of way. Not like that. Yeah, right. Yeah, I definitely have to fucking, I find doing the, actually, I need a good book recommendation for this topic, because I find these texts to be exhausting. And I went to Catholic school. I got kicked out of CCD because we didn't pay. Crazy. But when I grew up Catholic, went to a Catholic school briefly, and then became more religious when I was like 18, 19. And I was studying the Bible, not very long though, until I was like, I don't think that's the right answer. And so now reading back on it, it's daunting. I don't know why. I think it's because trying to hold all the different religions in your head, it's like 3 main ones, right? Fucks me up. I actually understand it from like a Judeo-Christian approach the best. Like I got that one down. But God is Jesus, Jesus is God. Where are we going? Okay, somebody got to dumb it down for me. I lose focus from it. And then I put it in a category of not wanting to do it, which isn't good. So I need recommendations. Or like a good, that's probably the topic I need like an audiobook for. Play it in the background for like months. Over and over until it starts to make sense. Anybody else like that? Just me. My brain will work when I don't even think it's working. It's a beautiful thing. Don't whisper, we can't hear you. Am I? Maybe I am. People become atheists for a variety of reasons, often influenced by personal experiences, philosophical beliefs, or scientific perspectives. 1, lack of evidence. Yeah, we value. Well, for sure. I know where you're going. Back. Easy. It hurts that even thinking as an agnostic. And something that I find to be exhausting on top of it is like I like to get different media forms. And so sometimes, maybe it's just me, it could be a me problem, but I'm just like, is that accurate? Are they lying? I'll go to like another video. Like I'll go to Ruslan when I'm not sure. Even though he be doing the thing. That's a Protestant. Those are your peeps. Okay. Bothers me. But like I'll go to Ruslan. I'm like, oh, well, fuck. Or like Shane. Hi, Shane. Shane gives me good info. But it's like at least something I've noticed with atheists is maybe there's some that lie. I haven't come across them. or like dude, literally political doublespeak, speculation. It bothers me. I'm starting to pick up on it more. It really bothers me. I was so unaware of like not. It just my first thought isn't, oh, somebody's lying. I just always, maybe it's the ADD, like fucking what do you call that? Self-deprecating, like low self-esteem. I'm like, did I understand something incorrectly? And then I go and double check, and I'm like, it like never dawned on me that they're lying until I was like told most people are lying. I'm like, what? What the fuck? It stresses me out. Cause like if everybody's lying, hold on, can we like abstractly think about this for a moment? Just a thought experiment. If everybody is lying, the reality is all a lie. Let that sink in. Okay, I'll say it again. If we are having a conversation, a debate, and only one of us is truthful, the reality that we are deriving everything from, only one is truthful. You should not, you lose by default. And then just imagine how that on like a large scale, all across YouTube, does that mean all conversations are lies? And if that's true, what are we doing? Like no one's scared? God damn. Imagine the web of lies that is dependent upon the person you speak to. That's a lot to keep track of. And then there's people that actually have injuries where like timelines become an issue, but then we look like the liars. It's like, it should be scary, but it's not. Because you're not like lying. I don't know. Can you imagine just always lying to whoever you're in front? Obviously not isn't it? When I hear everybody, I take that literally sometimes. I'm like, I'm just going to assume everybody's been honest. Yep, all conversations are monitored, therefore tainted. The brain acts differently when it knows it's being looked on. Totally. Like appearances. I mean, I know that appearances matter, but I didn't know that people are so... Jesus. Like, isn't that a little bit... Why are you so... Not you, but like, it's like... If it's not all honest, what is your goal? Is it all virtue signaling? I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, are we criticizing the ideas? Are we criticizing? Like, it almost feels like people are like trying to decide what's ethically better and what everybody should do, even though it might be right, which is a concept that you either like sometimes when I say like they're right, doesn't mean that it's necessarily what we do or what everyone should even do. Actually, I'll even go further and contradict that right away. Like what everyone should do versus what people are doing. It triggers me. It's like, yeah, it'd be great if we can promote marriage. Great, love it. Except that people are getting divorced at a very high rate, right? It'd be one thing if people were having a lot of babies, like if the birth rates were in the other direction, then you could make a case for like, okay, we got to learn how to stick together. But if we can't even get that, it's like, why don't we talk about that? Not promote something that people are inevitably gonna fail at, right? Like I said, if there were more kids involved, okay, maybe it'd be a bigger issue, but it's like, you really want, okay. It's just like, what, you want people to like fuck around forever? Obviously not. Like, that's not good either, right? But people take shit like that to heart. It's like a virtue signal this whole time. Losers. I'm just kidding. I'm just being silly. Thank you for the super chat. Keep your girl off OnlyFans, one shot at a time. Super sticker, Mark. Not all heroes wear capes. Mark, an atheist. I lie to my animals because they're smarter than me. Wait. I lied to my animals. I'm taking it too. I'm like, wait a minute. When we break that down, how are you going to lie to animals that operate on instinct? It's probably not that serious. Okay. Religion was created to be a lie. It deceives the masses in order to control them with the fear of a perceived higher power watching over them. Based. So from religion was created in order to enforce hierarchical structures for power and control. Okay, Michael Foucault. Love it. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Saw this with the churches. And the separation. Thank you for the super chat. Lemons. What happened to Lemon? Wait, what was his name? What was the one guy? I can't even think of it. Lemonhead? Was it Lemonhead? I don't remember. Jesus. Agnostics. Okay, for sure. What do you call a plane that got hijacked? Sir, this is Wendy's. Religion is indeed a lie. There is no God. Let's say it is a lie and that it's not true. It was all a story. Do you think we should still implement the moral principles? Do you think that it still has a good message? I think it does. But mine's better. I'm just being silly. I actually really like that we have both. And I would never take it away from anybody if I ruled the world, if you will. But it doesn't seem to be the same energy in the reverse. Andrew. Y'all a little crazy. But I actually think it works in a symbiotic fashion to keep those in power above us in check, you know? So one perk, even though we can't get along. Religion and faith are not the same thing. Easy. I know that. I think faith is. Never mind. Won't go there. Oh no. I think we should implement some sort of underlying moral principles that society can rely on. I agree. I agree. What would they be? What would be your... And, well, actually... I think we have them naturally. Anybody else? I'm done. I'm so tired. Mark says to have marriages not fail, we would have to have a totally different emotional mindset in regards to sex and intimacy. Some cultures still allow multiple spouse, but Western world Puritan towards sex for sure. I kind of like the idea of creating more like I don't know. I'm still not 100% sure on this idea, but the idea of families living longer together. You know, in other countries, in Italy, for instance, we got Italian in my family, baby. Like you live with your parents till you're like 40 and it's normal. And at first you might think, well, that can just infantilize people. But I think it like really takes a village for kids and trying to put all of the work on. I don't even think two parents can really do it effectively. No offense to parents. I think you need more. More. And so with that, I think that like, could you imagine, like, let's say like a couple breaks up, go back, both people go back, live with their families. Like, because I was thinking about it, was like, how could parents getting divorced actually like work in your favor if it ever could? And it's like, what if they divorced, both went back home to live with like their families and they didn't live further than 20 minutes away? You just got a lot, because there's something to say about families. You know, you only get your parents here arguably for a quarter of your life, half if you're lucky, right? But when you're surrounded by other family, it's like there's people there when that's gone, when your parents are gone, and you need that. I think people need people that knew them when they were young, for instance, but just like support, especially in this day and age where I feel like there's so many things working against. I don't know, that's like one thing I think about. Or like multi-generational homes. Even like taking kids out of public school, having like little communes, but I'm also insane. I don't want kids, but I'll teach them in the cul-de-sac, okay? Go get your books, little demons. Let's go. It's like even that. And some people are like, oh, but public school. There's a good case for both sides. Just like, I think we need more interaction. I don't know what's worse, being online or being in public school, bullying wise. That bullying can really affects kids. We also get so worked up here about trivial things. Our friends in Europe couldn't believe the fuss about the wardrobe malfunction. So they probably think we're nuts. I don't know. I really like the model in Europe, especially when it comes to work culture, family. I don't know. It's like, then why wouldn't we move there? You know, America's different, right? I don't know. I know, watch it. I'm gonna be like pregnant for the other half of my life. Who just told me the story about the woman? Who was that? Somebody recently. Was it you, Shane? I think it was Shane. He was telling me about a family member who was like me, who was either like me and didn't want kids or something, she couldn't get pregnant for like 10 years. And then she was pregnant for the rest of her life. I was like, that's going to be me for sure. For fucking sure. I don't want kids, nothing. And then you guys will never know me not pregnant. To have marriages not fail, you have to have a different mindset towards relationships. Ooh, actually, wait, hold on. Sorry, Dan. If your goal is the success and happiness of your spouse and you've chosen well, it can't fail. A question that I've never thought to ask. If American couples switched, let's say all Americans, men and women, switched countries with, I don't know, fucking... Let's do the Netherlands. Do you think we would? Well, actually, the Netherlands is. Let's do Italy. Controversial. Do you think that people would stay together just by change? If you've traveled, maybe you haven't traveled yet. So this thought experiment is kind of, it's like, what does that mean? It's a totally different mindset on life. It's like insane. Like, would we be able to stay together if obviously if we adopted the new values? Probably. Do you think Italians would end up divorcing each other? For sure. Actually, I don't know. That's a controversial. Probably should have picked a different country. God damn it. I don't know. True. Okay, guys. It's time for me to go make a smoothie. Get your vitamin C in, baby. Wear your sunscreen. Ow. I need to go to bed. Drink some tea. And if you have anxiety, you can always put a little bit of baking soda in your water. It'll calm you down. I'm not a doctor. But yeah. Oh yeah, I have a salad. I'm gonna go eat that. Okay. Be nice to people. And yeah. I had something good, but I forgot. Sorry. I'm annoying now. I'm annoyed of my voice. But tomorrow we will do more earlier in the day. Okay. Goodbye. Good night, everyone. Go to bed.